Well, thank you for joining us here on this Friday of the Word of Encouragement. And I'd like to go to the last book of the Bible, the book of Revelation, chapter 9. And there is just a very unique aspect here to the prophecy that I'd like to tie together with another prophecy. And we are in the midst of the trumpet judgments. There are 3 sets of judgments during the final part of the tribulation called the Great Tribulation. The world is judged. It's a horrifying thing. And as the 5th angel sounded that trumpet, we see a star fall from heaven. This is verse 1 of chapter 9, unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by the reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and upon them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. Now these seem to be demonic powers that somehow had been kept in this bottomless pit. They were powerful creatures, and they come and they do great harm to the earth. Now, that in itself is quite the prophecy. But I want to tie this to what the Bible tells us in chapter 20. Over in chapter 20, we find that the Lord Jesus comes back and in the second coming, and that the same angel in verse 20 shows up, and we read in verse 1, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut it up. Now, you go back to chapter 9, that's a horrifying picture. Out of that comes these powerful demonic beings that create havoc upon the earth. And all you could think is the bottomless pit is a horrible situation, and how can any good come of that? And now you go to chapter 20, and Satan is cast into that very same bottomless pit. And I want you to notice, in both cases, it was an angel that held the key. We look at things and think, they're out of control. This is horrible. But we forget God is in control, and that he can take the very things that seem so bad and then turn around and use that very thing to cause his purposes to be accomplished. And so Satan for 1,000 years during the millennium will be kept in that bottomless pit. Oh, as you look at the affairs of the world, as you see things happen, it's so interesting. You'll see a little bit later, God uses the very thing that seems so awful and turned it into something that actually using it for his own means. And of course, a lot of what's occurring that Satan is manufacturing is going to be setting up prophecy to be fulfilled. And so we can trust God and realize he holds the key. He is in control. If we will rest in him and serve him, we are going to be fine. The issue is, are we going to serve him? So I want to encourage you today, don't be thrown by things that you hear. Trust in the Lord and realize God can take evil and turn it for his purpose. And if we will look to him, we can have great joy in our life despite the circumstances and be full servants for his glory.